to Virginia here. We're still looking at Loudoun. We don't have a lot in. This is a swing county. Look at it now, 32% in, 50%. This is where AOL is. This is sort of the East Coast version of Silicon Valley. And then Prince William, the other one, this is where Manassas is. This is where Obama closed his campaign last night. 90,000 people. We don't.
Okay. Hello, my name is Frank LaPera, and I am with Up North 2, and I'm here interviewing Steve Lagerquist this evening. Steve, did you vote this afternoon?
This morning, actually, I did.
Oh, and how was your voting experience? Did you experience any long lines or problems with voting today?
No, it was phenomenally short. Walked in. It took me longer to fill out the ballot than it did to wait in line and do the other stuff, so it was great. Very good experience.
That's good to hear. Now, did you pay attention to any of the polls before voting, or were you one of those people that followed the polls and kind of like looked at how your candidate was doing beforehand?
I've been following for the last 12 months, yes. But yeah, in spite of that, I knew exactly what I was going to do when I got there. So,
well, that's good. So did the polls, like the numbers, did they influence you going out to vote today, or did you just felt like this was an important election and you had to vote?
No, I always vote, and it was a super important election. I was very excited to vote, which I always am, and no, I would have voted regardless. So,
okay. Yeah, would you like to explain where we're at this evening and what's going on?
We are at the Inside Out Gallery, and it is a what would you call it? A rally? It is a evening night, and it's it seems like a rather democratic crowd. Woohoo! And we're just watching MSNBC. The polls coming in, and I'm nervous, excited, anxious, and hopeful.
Now, some of the early polls have seen Barack Obama take some swing states. How does that make you feel so far?
Good, but it's the Ohio, when the polls come in, it's going to be Ohio, Florida. There's some main ones. Pennsylvania. He hasn't taken anything yet that John Kerry didn't take in 2004. So it's still kind of wide open. Like I said, nervous, anxious, and all those things above. So
what are your plans for tomorrow after you find out the results of the election?
Woo! Do a little sleeping in. No real plans, actually. Go for a bike ride, perhaps. Call a bunch of friends. No real plans. Hopeful, though.
Now, after participating in the electoral process, how do you feel about pressuring the candidate to make sure that they follow through on some of the things like that they've promised, or do you think do you think yourself and some other people will kind of not follow up on this?
It's gonna be I wouldn't want the job in anybody. It's gonna be a really hard road to toe. I think Obama has iterated though that it's gonna be work on both parts. He wants the American public to be involved, to sacrifice, which is exactly what we kind of all have to do. I think he's doing it. I think he'll do it well if he gets the public to follow behind him, which I think he's doing really well. It's not going to be great. It's going to be a long haul, but I think he's infinitely better than what we had the last 8 years. So,
yeah. Do you think this election has been a little too divisive to kind of bring in some of the people from people that have voted for the opposite side, whoever does win tonight?
Every election does this. It always does this. I'm older than I look. It always comes down to like the end, and it gets ugly at the end. It's always like that. It just happens. Hopefully people will look beyond that and actually start falling in place once things start happening for the better for everybody. So hopefully, we'll see. We'll see.
Yes. Would you like to share any other stories about today, the whole electoral process over the past year or so? Any stories or interesting things?
I haven't been this excited about an election in a long time. I'm totally jazzed. I was in the election line today, and there was a mother telling her daughter, who I assume was just turned 18, said, "You don't have to vote for everybody on the ballot. Just vote for those people you want." And I was ecstatic that there was a young person there voting. I've heard that the young vote was they're energized for Obama, but I heard that they perhaps won't vote. But I was being at the poll and seeing a young person and seeing all these young people here tonight. It makes me excited. I'm older, but the young vote, woohoo! That's where America's going. So.